Hey there, Kipsters. Mr. Piazza here, and we're looking at how you're going to create a histogram using your data for your final draft of your culminating task. So in order to create a histogram using Google Documents, you're going to want to create two columns, one for your intervals, one for your frequency, which was a table you made in step 3. You're going to type in your intervals. So I was doing hours of sleep, and I'll type them starting, it was 4 to 6, then 6 to 8, and so on, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, and 12 to 14 hours. So that was how many hours of sleep they were getting. A quick note, if you type that somewhere else, if I did 4 to 6 over here, these are cells that I haven't formatted already, it's going to turn that number into a date. So if that happens to you, the way to avoid that is, I'll delete it. You're going to change the format of that cell by clicking this 1, 2, 3 button. Change it to plain text so that it will keep the text the way you typed it. And then if you go back to that cell and type 4-6, it stays that way. So that's a quick fix so that you can actually write your intervals the way you'd like. But I don't need to type in that cell, so I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to type in the frequencies. This is the number of people that were in each interval. And so for me, I already copied, I'm just pasting them in. There were 2 people that had 4 to 6 hours, 13 that had 6 to 8 hours, etc. And I have these 5 intervals. I'm ready to create my histogram, so I'll go to Insert, down to Chart. Usually the first one that comes up is this circle graph. I want a histogram like one of these down here, so I'll click that. If I look at it, on the bottom I have my intervals just like in my rough draft. On the side, on my y-axis, I have my frequency just like that in my rough draft. So it looks good. I'm going to insert it. There's a couple of changes I'm going to want to make before I finalize it, such as labeling my axis and creating a title. So I'm going to click Edit Chart. Hold on, let me show you again where I found that. So on the upper left hand corner of the chart, you see Chart 3. That drop down menu has Edit Chart. Click it. And I'll go to Customize. If I go to Customize, I can create a title such as my survey question, which was how many hours of sleep did you get last night? I can move my legend if I wanted to move it. I could move the legend down to the bottom, have none, keep it on the right side. I think I'm going to have no frequency. I think I just like the way it looks like that. And then for my axis, I'll label each one. My vertical axis is the number of people who slept that amount of hours. I could even come up with a minimum and maximum, let's say of 0 to 15, so that it goes by 5s. Could do it like that. Definitely some options. I could play around with those numbers, for example 0 to 20 or 0 to 10. Stick to 0 to 15 though. And then I'll go to my horizontal axis and label that, which for me was, this was the number of hours of sleep. After I make those changes, I'm ready to update it. And this, I think, is a strong final draft. It has a title, it's got my intervals labeled, my axis labeled, and very clearly demonstrates how many people fit in each group. And that's how you create a histogram. Good luck making yours.